Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as well as breaking news. JPMorgan CEO criticized for Bitcoin ETF role amid the anti-crypto comments he just recently made. Talk about a hypocrite. And quoting Max Keiser, all 13 Bitcoin cash-in, cash-out ETFs are playthings for Wall Street market manipulators. The price of the Bitcoin ETFs and therefore the price of Bitcoin will be in the hands of Jamie Dimon until a few more Michael Saylor show up and take delivery of actual Bitcoin. Also in today's show, breaking news, U.S. prosecutors declare Sam Bankman-Fried will not see a second trial as they just drop the majority of the charges. Surprise, but not surprise at the same time. Also in today's show, Bitcoin spot ETF Bitwise closes their ranks with $200 million in their seed fund. Let's go. And speaking of ETFs, we got BlackRock, Van Eck, and Valkyrie all filing last minute Bitcoin ETF amendments. Also, I'm going to be sharing with you breaking news. January 2nd or January 3rd, ETF issuers may get the green light to be cleared for launch. This is according to Reuters, which ultimately means just in a few days, we can get that ETF green light, sending the price action parabolic. So let's go. Also in today's show, I'm going to be sharing 1 million Bitcoin buy order God candle is a done deal, according to the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser. That's right. He recently tweeted, these two are teaming up to make Larry Fink, aka BlackRock, and Michael Saylor look like peanuts with a buy order of 1 million Bitcoin and a $100,000 Bitcoin God candle. Send it and let's go. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. Welcome, crypto fam. What it do? This is like New Year's Eve. It's December 30th. This is pretty much the end of the year. We're going to put a bow on 2023. Welcome everyone in that chat. On Matrix, Will Stop Sun versus Guru. Rachel, what it do, sis? Back for more BTC, relaxing and meditation music. Jennifer says, not surprised at that. Right. I mean, corruption at its finest, to say the least, right? When it comes to JPMorgan Chase CEO, Jamie the Tapeworm Dimon, and Sam Bankman-Fried, it seems they're just protected at the higher levels and they could do no wrong. It's very sad to say the least. Let me know if the stream is loud, clear, and smooth. Before we get any further, we can see Bitcoin back in the green on the day, trading just above $42,300. Let's get this mofo lit. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget as well, this is a live and interactive show. Welcome, Jersey Bean. Good evening from wet, cold Jersey, UK. Shout out to the UK and all my fam out there. Happy New Year. 2024 will be a solid year for Bitcoin. Can't wait. It's going to be a hell of a year, and we may get these ETF approval green light next week. You know what I mean? Monday or Tuesday. What do you guys think about that? That's what Reuters just announced just recently. Loud and clear. Good to hear. Mossman, what it do? Bought the dip, stacking sats, says Jennifer. That's what's up. Keep stacking them Satoshis. I heard about a small ETF drop, but we'll see when I see it. Loud and clear. Good to note. Sup, JB? Looking forward to the great show. Also, I'm going to be sharing a bonus. Samson Mao just made some very bold predictions for 2024, including a $1 million Bitcoin price action. So we're going to also be discussing that in a little bit. Peace from Nimbin, Australia. Welcome, Will. Always a pleasure, fam. Hello from Madeira. Appreciate you tuning in. Absolute mad. What it do? Good stuff. What up, fam? Jennifer says Tuesday, ETF approval. It could be. It's right around the corner for sure. There's just so much talk going back and forth between these ETF applicants and the SEC right now, updating their apps virtually every day. I'm going to be sharing the latest with where we stand. JV, you sound better today. I hope you're feeling better. I am feeling much better. So thank you, family. And thanks for even noticing. I mean, last couple of days, I was a little under the weather. So tiring, waiting for Bitcoin to rise up, says Shukor. Well, you got to have patience in this game. Family, JV, are we on? We are on. I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, we're on Crypto Surge. I bought the dip stacking right on Abel Gonzalez. Let's bring in that God candle. Send it. Let's go, Matt. What up, JV? Approval on Tuesday? It can very likely be. We may see that as soon as next week, Monday or Tuesday. We shall soon see. Greetings from Southwest Florida. Shout out to JB 2020. Appreciate you tuning into the live stream, crypto family. What up, Hayden Armstrong? Hi from Pinner, London. Thanks for tuning into the live in London. Appreciate that. Hello from Yalta. Crimea, Russia. Shout out to Peter. Appreciate you tuning in from Russia. Shout out to my international fam out there. Always a pleasure. Jamie Dimon is a clown. Precisely. Wasn't it like a week or two ago? He was testifying in front of Congress with Elizabeth Warren, everyone's least favorite senator. And they were ultimately talking about how if he controlled Bitcoin or crypto, he would shut it down. Meanwhile, he partnered with BlackRock. Interesting. Never listen to what they say. Watch what they do. I've been preaching this for the longest time. Jamie Dimon is amongst one of the shadiest characters out there. So you best believe. All good here in Costa Rica. Shout out Bruno Reber. I appreciate it. Pura Vida family. Anybody who name starts with, what is that, a B? Gets the rock cool gear? Oh, because the Bitcoin. Exactly. That's actually a good point. ICP is the best tech in crypto, period, says Kate Shaw. Shakur, it's a matter of when, not if, when it comes to Bitcoin rising in many ways. Amen. Well said. Sat, Stack'em, Cyberman, TX, what it do? Relax and meditation, music in a building, says patience is key, but you have to be prepared to move, 9 sell, buy the dip, etc. Hey, everyone. Hey, Helen. How you doing, family? Good to see you. Shady Diamond. That's actually a great nickname for him. Good to see you, Emilio. What do you like better, Jamie the Tapeworm or Shady Diamond? Or maybe Jamie the Tapeworm, Shady Diamond. That actually got a ring to it. What do you think? Cheers from Moscow. Send hi to Maria. Shout out from Moscow, and much love, Maria. Thank you for tuning in. What up, Gato Negro? Salutos from Panama. Viva BTC. Hopefully, Panama.Bitcoin is a legal tender in 2024. We're actually going to be discussing which countries are most likely to do so, according to Samson Mao. Tapeworm has been stacking since he started to talk down on them. 100%. When he was comparing Bitcoin to the pet rock and threatening any JPMorgan employees that they'd get fired for touching Bitcoin, he was purchasing mass amounts for his trading desk. I heard $400 million worth of Bitcoin. So yeah, these snakes in the grass. I say when the grass is cut, the snakes will show, and we're starting to see these snakes. You know what I mean? Q Pasa Homes. What up, Emilio? ICP creators own a lot of the crypto, says Steven Avantasel. What up, Debo GSD? Just bought the Ledger Nano X. Can't wait to set her up. Multiple effect. Oh, snap. The multiplier effect. You already know, Southwest. Let's go. You know what I mean? Hello from Malaysia. Shakur. Appreciate you tuning in, Mr. Muhammad. What it do? How come my sugar hat button, my super hat button? I don't know what you mean by that. But yeah, appreciate the love, family. Super chat. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I don't know. I have no clue, fam. God bless you, Dirty Bird, as well. Of course, downplayed Bitcoin and kept the price low so he can buy. Yeah, what do you expect from these snakes? Maggot tapeworm. There you go. That one actually sounds good too. Crypto surge. Don't disrespect snakes, says Jennifer. Hello from Minnesota. Welcome, Alex. Welcome, Aussie Cash Only. Hello from Melbourne, Australia. I appreciate you tuning in from Australia. Shout out to my Aussies and Kiwis out there. Much appreciated, family. Much love. If you're just joining us, let me know where you're tuning in from. This is a live and interactive show each and every day, 7 days per week. How old is the pup? He's no longer a pup. He's like 4 years old. I got him when he was a pup. He was like 6 months old, and he was a rescue pup from the streets of Puerto Rico. Hey, from Naples, Florida. Shout out Che, Patrick. Appreciate you tuning in. To my Floridians out there. Morning from Sydney, Australia. Shout out to Shane Ward. Shout out to Freddie G. McLovin. What it do, fam? Dropping in from the free red state of Arkansas. Shout out Brian Proctor. Skins, what it do? Australia in the building. Crypto Kiwi in the building. Shout out to all my Kiwis. Bradenton, Florida in the building. Near my old stomping grounds, back for more. That's what's up. I like snakes, but not those in the grass, says Jennifer. I'm from Brisbane, Australia, says Hey Z. Wow, we have a lot of people from Australia. Loud and clear from South Dakota. Good to note, family. Snakes and teeth and a deadly bite. Diamond only has no hair and toothless Buffett on his side. Love the kombucha. Thank you. I had to restock up. I went to Costco the other day. Get my home. That's my favorite brand of the kombucha. Yeah. Montreal, Canada in the building. What up, Amsterdam? Smoke Christmas cigarettes, says Barry BTC. Shout out to my fam out there in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Good to see you. Krishna, Western Cape, South Africa in the building. Shout out to Mike. Appreciate you tuning in from South Africa. I love that we have an international crowd. That's what's up. But without further ado, I know a lot of people still joining us. Canton, Ohio in the building. PHX. Shout out to Jason. Shout out to BlackRock and everyone. I appreciate it, family. But without further ado, if you're new to the channel, be sure to smash that subscribe button to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. My goal is to get to 100,000 subs. And I forgot to say smash the like as well, because it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Today is December 30th, 2023. I'm your host, JV, and today is podcast episode number 1507. Can you believe it? That's right. And we have a lot to cover, so let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You should be able to see Coin 360 on your screen. We got Bitcoin in the green, up 1% on the day, trading above 42,600. Looks like it's going to recapture here 43, hopefully during today's live stream. Let me know. We have Ether correcting, but maintaining above 2,300. We have XRP in the green, BNB in the green, Cardano in the green, ICP, one of the top gainers, up 17%, and also Bitcoin Cash up 6.4%. And zooming out on the monthly to get a more broader perspective of where we're at, we still got Bitcoin up almost 13% on the month. We have Ether up 14%, BNB up 40%, XRP, the most modest gains of the top cryptos, only up 3% on the monthly. Solana been killing it, up 76%, and AVAX leading the pack, up over 91%, and also got Cardano up 60%. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we can see the crypto market cap sitting at 1.66 trillion, roughly half the all-time high we achieved back in November of 2021, which surpassed 3 trillion. We got about 47 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance back on the rise at 50.1%, with the Ether dominance at 16.7%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, ICP up 17%. FTT, that's Sam Bankman-Fried's token. Now that they dropped 6 of those charges against him, his token is pumping. You can't make this ish up in this clown world, fam. Up 12% on the day. We got Ordi up almost 11%. Below that, Casper, IOTA, and Teller. Let me know which altcoins in particular you're most bullish on for this bull run in the comments below. I greatly appreciate that. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. We're currently rated a 68 in greed. Yesterday, 65. Last week, a 70. And last month, a 74 in greed. So there you have it. My crypto fam, how do you feel we're likely to finish off this year of 2023 in this month of December? Let me know your honest thoughts in that live chat. Yeah, I mean, welcome Matt Newell. Appreciate you tuning into the stream, family. Smash the like, says Crypto Surge. Greatly appreciate that as it helps out tremendously. Shout out to Bong Heil. I appreciate you subbing to the channel, family, and everyone just joining us. Elvis as well. Thanks for subscribing to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's get this mofo lit. Shall we? Barry BTC. No alts, only the real BTC. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. Amen. So don't get tricked into these ETFs, family. Even though they're spot ETFs, it's cash in, cash out, which ultimately means BlackRock, Jamie Dimon, and Coinbase are going to be holding your Bitcoin and giving you the IOU version, so don't fall for it. That's a sucker's move. Stick to self-custody, family, just saying, and remove your crypto off the exchanges, not your keys, not your coins. You know what I mean? Or as I say, not your keys, not your cheese. So be careful out there. Shout out to Crypto Kiwi. Bring on the God Candle. That's what's up. 100,000 God Candle and a single uptick. We're going to be discussing that here later in the show. Moonshot a coming. Says back for more. Right on. I hope you're right there. 100% for a fee. That's right. They may charge as much as 1% annually. So over the course of 20 years, you're talking about paying 20% of your Bitcoin in fees. That's not a good look. So you got to keep that in mind. It is very expensive over the long haul, especially considering how, valuable Bitcoin is. You know what I mean? It's perfect money, AKA pristine collateral. Strong finish. We had a retracement, but I think it'll be sideways until the ETF approval, predicts Jennifer. Thank you for sharing. Do you guys think we're going to get that green light as Reuters just reported next week, potentially Monday or Tuesday? Let me know. And yesterday I shared in the show, Nick Carter is projecting the 8th, which is a Monday. Let me know your thoughts on that prediction as well. But either way you slice it, the ETF is coming. There's no denying it at this point. What up, Tony H? In fact, the top ETF analysts give it now a 99% probability of approval in January. And January is like 2 days out. So it's about to get lit. 2024 for the win. Well, Bitcoin touched 41,000 again today. Anything's possible. Expect more extreme volatility. For shizzle, 100% Bitcoin, there is quite literally no second best. And speaking of no second best, Michael Saylor had something to share. Let me see if Saylor is on the line with us.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay, what's the second best? There is no second best. There is no second best.
Shout out to Tony H. Thanks for subbing to number one daily Bitcoin pod. Amen, Jennifer. Hello from the UK, Mr. Devil K. What it do? Appreciate you tuning into the stream. Come on, Bitcoin, says Mr. Mahmood. Let's go to the moon. Amen. Where no human being has ever gone before. Send it. The fund will not just hold the Bitcoin, they will actually own it. Those who buy the ETF are not buying BTC. Good point, Jeff Rhodes. Appreciate you sharing that. 100%. McLovin says 100%. Quite literally no second best. Amen. Love from Pakistan. Shout out to Dawood. Appreciate you tuning in from Pakistan family. What up, Matt? Definitely volatile. Yeah, it always is around the time of the halving. That's nothing new, right? Let's freaking go Sailor, aka Sailor Moon. I remember Sailor Moon. I used to be a big Dragon Ball Z fan, and I never got into Sailor Moon, but it was around that same time, same generation. So I know the reference. I just never got into the show. I was too consumed with Dragon Ball Z myself. Kamehameha. Yeah, I mean, one question about retirement funds, though. Can't really self-custody Bitcoin unless I'm missing something. Yeah, that's the point. For certain people in certain situations, the ETF may make sense. But for the average person just looking to buy Bitcoin, it makes no sense. There's no advantage to the ETF whatsoever. You know what I mean? Crypto Rome, welcome. I wonder if we really see a Keiser candle, or should we say a Super Saiyan candle? All great. I welcome them all. I say send the Allah candle, send the Buddha candle, the God candle, the Jesus candle, the Keiser candle, the Samson Mao candle, any other candles, just send them all. You know what I mean? The Kamehameha candle. Soon to moon from Pakistan. Amen. There is no second best because there is no other asset like Bitcoin. Other cryptos are completely different than Bitcoin and serve a different purpose. Well said, Jeff. 100%. What up, Arik? Hello from the Netherlands. Oh, that's what's up. Love the Netherlands. One of my favorite places I've ever visited. Yeah, great place to be. After the ETF approval, less volatility. I think when the market cap rises, we're going to see less volatility. But right now, it's a very nascent asset class. Less than $1 trillion in Bitcoin right now. And we're talking about major nation states, oil money, potentially buying 1 million BTC. Also, even Michael Saylor, according to Max, he shared the source being MicroStrategy. They're planning on collecting 5% of the overall Bitcoin supply in circulation. Right now, MicroStrategy already owns almost 1% of the entire circulating Bitcoin supply. Let that sink in. Imagine that, which ultimately means they have roughly 200,000 Bitcoin. They're looking to stack another million. And now we have nation state adoption, sovereign wealth funds looking to get their hands on 1 million Bitcoin. There's only like 2 million Bitcoin or less currently available on the exchanges. So how are they even going to get their hands on it is a great question. We're going to see a supply shock in 2024, which is another bullish tailwind. I do truly believe that. Scented candle, says ePark. There you go. Right now, volatility is 0, says Berserk. Can you imagine if the candle starts going up with the price and the candle changes from green to yellow? I can. What up? New York in the building. Welcome, Corona Free. Appreciate you. Bitcoin is still a little baby compared to the other assets. Yeah, I say Bitcoin is still a pup. Like Nipsey when he was 6 months. That's kind of like BTC right now. What would the price be if all the Bitcoin was owned? Oh my God. If no one was selling, they would just have to, if anyone wanted to buy it, they just have to pay a tremendous amount. It's a free open market, so it depends upon what people are willing to sell it at. But that is a great question. The catalyst driving the price up, there are so many right now. Nipsey candle, I dig it. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. JV, what are the top cryptos that you're holding for this bull run? Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. There's no second best. I'm all in on Bitcoin, family. I may have some alts sitting somewhere. I have no clue from 2017, but nothing significant. Mostly all Bitcoin, so it's safe to say all in on Bitcoin. Listening while putting the strut in the Lexus. I did convert much of my Ethereum holdings that I used to have earlier in the year. into Bitcoin because I don't feel safe holding a large amount of Ethereum, knowing the protocol change and all the uncertainty surrounding it. So I prefer the one and only decentralized cryptocurrency in which I can sleep at night like a baby, knowing it's safe, secure, the strongest network in the world, the protocol's not changing, and none of that shenanigans, which we have witnessed already with Ethereum. Also, there's no attack vectors, whereas with Ethereum, I mean, anyone can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Anyone can be, what's the word? Corrupted. That's the word I'm looking for. Bitcoin is incorruptible, and there's no attack vector to corrupt. You know what I mean? They can't do anything to change it. If they could have shut it down, they would have a decade ago. I believe that. Put in my order for my Ram truck. Right on, Jennifer. When is Elon getting back into Bitcoin? I think their company, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Tesla and SpaceX still hold Bitcoin on the balance sheet. However, he stopped accepting Bitcoin for his car payments, and he was spreading that MSG FUD or whatever it's called. You know what I mean? With the saying that it's not, clean for the world, or something like that. And then he said, once you can prove that 50% of the mining is clean, he would accept it again. It's already been proven, but he has yet to live up to his word. So I don't have that much respect for him on that front. What I do respect about Elon is his platform X with free speech. I respect that because I think our First Amendment is so important. But what I don't like is I felt like he's been attacking Bitcoin by promoting Doge over the years. And his reasoning for it, wouldn't it be funny if the meme coin, which was made out of a joke, overtook Bitcoin? No, I don't think that would be funny, Elon. But what do you guys think? You guys let me know. Ether can be printed infinitely. Precisely. Bitcoin has a finite limited supply, which we all know, of 21 million. Whereas with Ethereum, if you look on CoinMarketCap, you want to know what it says? Max supply, infinity sign. That's not a good look. So what makes Ethereum different than like $1 or the digital version or CBDC that's coming down the pipeline where they can just print unlimited amounts? You know what I mean? Good to know. Thank you, buddy. Shout out Dawood. I appreciate that, fam. Much love, much respect. Pocahontas, are we referring to, is that Senator Warren? Let me know who you're referring to as Pocahontas. Sup, gang? Less dollar cost average. That's what's up, Bugs. But anyways, we still got a lot to cover. So let's dive into our next story of the day and just discuss a little Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts, some technicals, and see where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. So here we go. First and foremost, you should be able to see here, Bitcoin stopped at 43 Gs. Ever since last weekend, the Bitcoin price failed to decisively overcome 44,000. The asset has struggled to maintain its momentum, started losing value at the start of the business week, which resulted in a price drop to 41,600 on Tuesday. The bulls came out of the hiding at this point, propelling an impressive leg up that pushed the asset to just shy of 44,000 a day later. However, this move was short-lived, with Bitcoin quickly retracing by over $1,000. Friday saw another push that brought Bitcoin to just over 43 Gs. Yet the scenario repeated, and the bears drove Bitcoin down to 41,300 for the first time since December 18th. And as of now, the Bitcoin is trading a few $100s above that level, but its market cap had slipped to $815 billion. Now, I personally think that's wild that Bitcoin as an asset class is still less than $1 trillion, but mark my words, it won't be this way for long. And as high as that market cap continues to climb, the price is going to alongside it. So keep that in mind. Its dominance over the alts has taken a breather, but it's still just above, actually at the time of this recording, just above 50%, according to CoinMarketCap. It was yesterday just shy of 50. It was like 49.9%. And checking out some of the technicals from TradingView, just to get a perspective of where we're at on the daily, you can see right now there's 8 sell signals. There are 9 neutral and 9 buy. And as far as oscillators are concerned, there's 2 sell, 8 neutral, and 1 buy. And as far as moving averages, there's 6 sell signals, 1 neutral, and 8 buy signals. So there you have it. Let me know how many of you are currently bullish on the King crypto. And again, let me know where you feel will likely end this month and this year of 2023. It's been a hell of a year, to say the least. I think 2024, 2025, we can see a repeat of 2016, 2017, potential 10x. Who knows? Samson Mao is still very bullish that we can still surpass $1 million per coin off of the back of the ETF approvals in January. He said it can happen in as little as days or weeks. So I'd love to know your thoughts. And again, he just made some very bullish predictions on his X timeline. I'm going to be covering those towards the end of the show as well. You know what I mean? Welcome, Jeff. ETH now burns a lot of ETH per schedule in order to prevent inflation. So technically it isn't infinite. However, it is still unsettling. I think there are better altcoins if you lean that way. Yeah, if someone like myself who has been in crypto since 2017 don't understand how the mechanics work with the infinite supply, that means the average person has no freaking idea either. And that's unsettling for me as well. I'd like to just understand it. Why can't they just throw a number on it? You know what I mean? Like at least Bitcoin, we know the deal, 21 million coins, there can never be more. I don't like the fact it's a mystery and that I can't even explain it or understand it myself. I consider myself, average savvy maybe. But yeah, I have no clue. I don't understand it. And I've heard the Ethereum guys try to explain it and it just confused me more. So it leaves me like dumbfounded, you know what I mean? Any idea when the God candle will start? Hopefully sooner than later. We shall see. I think 2024, it shall come. When? That's a good question. You know what I mean? Welcome, game dudes. Appreciate you tuning in. What up, Keiser? Selling short crypto term losses, 40% is thievery, aka taxes. That's right. Puerto Rico, 100K boating tragedy in 2024, Raven. Right on. Out of enjoying the ski season and buying some Bitcoin here in Switzerland. Cheers, game dudes. And cheers to Switzerland. Haven't been there in a few years. Beautiful country out there. I know crypto adoption is strong out there as well. It's lower than the burn rate, says Matt Newell. Right on. Anyone here bullish on Ethereum? Do you think it's going to outpace Bitcoin? Again, this cycle, 2 previous cycles, Ether clearly outpaced Bitcoin. But I'm curious if you think Bitcoin will finally outpace Ether this bull run. Let me know your thoughts. I hope Jamie, the tapeworm, forks Bitcoin and gets left holding the bag, says Will. Right on. Grinch Candle Papa. Bitcoin Zodiac. What up, yo? I wonder if I am too old to be in Bitcoin. Oh, absolutely not. We have people on the channel tuning in their 70s, in their 80s. We have people tuning in their 20s and everything in between. You're never too old. And what I love about Bitcoin is the fact it unites all of us. Age is irrelevant, right? You know what I mean? It's what Bitcoin represents. It's separation of money from the state. So if that resonates with you, you're at the right place, family. And welcome to the fam. Age is irrelevant. ETH will have a ETF as well. Yeah, they say, I think they all got pushed back to May. So obviously Bitcoin's going to get their ETFs rolled out sooner in January, more than likely. I'd rather leverage Bitcoin at the moment than trade the alts. Amen, Norm. I feel you there. Solana outpaced the F out of Ethereum. Good point, Raven. Bitcoin long-term over ETH because of the scarcity. Exactly, because Bitcoin is a store of value. One thing ETH is not is a store of value, especially with that infinite max supply. You know what I mean? Also, Bitcoin is an insurance policy. It's a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against deflation. It's unconfiscatable. That alone, to me, makes it invaluable. Because if you've ever been extorted, you know how powerful, you know what I mean, unconfiscatable money is. You know what I mean? A good horse comes from behind. ETH, Solana, and AVAX are legit, says Matt. You will have an ETF party next week. Maybe on the channel. I suspect most top 10 alts will outpace Bitcoin. However, not all of them will. Bitcoin is safer and will definitely do well. Mohammed in the house, VPN Shire, New Zealand in the building. What up, John? Bitcoin all the way. Let's go. Amen. But anyways, fam, I love chatting it up, but we still got a lot to share. So here's the latest news with Jamie Dimon and JPMorgan Chase, the firm that paid over $38 billion in fines for things like money laundering and spoofing precious metal markets. And let's not forget, JPMorgan Chase was the banker for EP. And I'll let you finish that guy's last name because I don't even want to mention it on YouTube because of, you already know the gatekeepers out here. But you know that one slimy mofo nobody likes? Yeah, that guy, EP. Yeah, you know. But anyways, family, JPMorgan CEO Jamie Dimon is being criticized by the crypto community after being named an authorized participant by BlackRock, which dropped its updated Form S-1 filing yesterday, December 29th. Commenting on the BlackRock amendment, Bloomberg ETF analyst Balchunas shared the following. BlackRock just dropped its updated S-1, and it does name the APs Jane Street. Interesting, because that's where Bankman-Fried and Caroline Ellison met, and JP Morgan. Kind of ironic, don't you think? Now, an authorized participant is an organization with the right to create and redeem shares of an ETF. BlackRock's updated filing named James Street and JPMorgan Securities authorized participants in its proposed spot Bitcoin ETF app. However, Dimon hasn't endorsed Bitcoin publicly. Well, he sure has behind the scenes because he purchased up a mass amount for his trading desk. Quoting John Deaton here, how about the Senator Warren, Jamie Dimon's JP Morgan is involved with Bitcoin despite its only use case serving terrorists, drug cartels, and other criminals? Or maybe you and Jamie Dimon are simply gaslighting the American public. Bingo was his name, Bo. You already know. In a December 6th hearing with the U.S. Senate Banking Committee on Oversight of Wall Street Firms, how many of you watched that? It was earlier in the month. Dimon told several U.S. lawmakers that if he had the authority in government, he would shut down crypto, claiming Bitcoin and crypto's only true use case is to facilitate crime. Very interesting, coming from a criminal himself. Now, crypto pundits have quickly pointed out the hypocrisy of JP Morgan as an authorized participant in BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF. Perhaps money laundering, tax evasion, criminal participation, and drug trafficking is their business as well. Good point. If BlackRock wants to do all that, then fine. But how can JP Morgan do all that after telling Congress and Warren that it is what it's used for, said Sonny Poe. Now, pro-XRP lawyer Deaton also expressed skepticism about Senator Elizabeth Warren's stance on Bitcoin and pointed out that Dimon's JP Morgan is willing to be involved with Bitcoin despite negative associations with criminals. Now, Deaton questioned whether this was an attempt to mislead the public or engage in gaslighting. Clearly all the above. I think there should be consequences for lying to the public. How can you weeks ago claim that it's only for criminals and then be partnered with BlackRock, the largest asset manager for their spot Bitcoin ETF? There should be consequences. What are your thoughts? Despite being deeply opposed to the digital asset sector, JP Morgan recently launched its crypto token. Interesting. JPM coin on a private version of the Ethereum blockchain for its institutional client base. The bank also rolled out a blockchain-based tokenization platform back in October with BlackRock as one of its clients. It also contributed to a $65 million funding round for Ethereum infrastructure firm Consensus back in April of 2021. Now, here's what Max shared, and I respect Max's insights and hold them dearly. Here's what he shares. All 13 Bitcoin cash-in, cash-out ETFs are playthings for Wall Street market manipulators. The price of the Bitcoin ETFs, and therefore the price of Bitcoin, will be in the hands of Jamie Dimon until a few more Michael Saylor show up and take delivery of actual Bitcoin. He also shared here, number one, Bitcoin ETF buyers own fiat Bitcoin that can disappear at the push of a button, so you've been warned. Number two, Bitcoin price discovery is seriously impaired now until new whales show up. And self-custody, number three, laws banning self-custody are in the works. The fight continues. And he tweeted that off the back of Preston Pish's tweet. Anyone else stunned at the lack of discussion and concern around Coinbase? Yes, that POS exchange as a primary custodian for all the ETF coins. I'm sorry, not sorry. But if you're buying these ETF products, just know you don't own Bitcoin. Very well said. You know what I mean? You don't own it. And Corey chimed in, several of the ETFs will move custodians soon after the listing. It was just easiest to get approved, saying Coinbase, and Preston chimed in. I sure hope so. So what are your thoughts on that? Let me know. And quoting Digital Asset News, good morning. Sorry, Liz. I was kidding when I said Bitcoin and crypto is only good for criminals, and I'd ban it. We are going to be an authorized participant for BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF. I know this makes you look bad, but yeah, no hard feelings. P.S. Big campaign contribution coming your way. You already know. So you're looking at a criminal right here that is allowed to get away with his criminal activity. His name is Jamie the Tapeworm Dimon. Now you know. So what are your thoughts surrounding that? The hypocrite and the hypocrisy which continues. Let me know and I'll read some more comments out loud. I appreciate it, fam. Cheers. Welcome, Leroy. It's official. ICP is winning today. It is one of the top gainers on the day. Solana will skyrocket, says Jeff. There's a lot of VCs behind it, and they have scheduled a lot of airdrops throughout 2024. They are smart. I don't like the blockchain, but they are in it to win it. Diamond should not be allowed to talk to Congress unless it's as a defendant. Well said on Matrix. What up, JV? Shout out Crypto Dad and all my crypto papas out there. RSI on Solana is slow. Says here, Will, death and a blow off top was retail FOMO, aka the bag hodlers. Word. What up, Kiwi? Fine just means legal for a price. Right, exactly. The company itself paid $38 billion in fines over the years. Let that sink in. All for illicit activity. Meanwhile, they want to point the finger at Bitcoin and crypto only being used for illicit activity. No. How can you even say that? You have 100 fingers pointing right back in his ugly face, along with Senator Warren. Jamie Dimon trying to slither into Bitcoin. Wallet, send him to jail. There you go. He is such an abomination, Diamond. Amen, Kenzo. I agree. Cash flows of the underlying asset to the shareholders, but unlike CDOs, ETFs reinvest the principal, says Iowa. Quan Long, Jamie Dimon trying to slither into, send him to jail. Idea on Atom, I don't know too much about it. Talking about Cosmos. I really want to buy a Tesla, but I'd rather have a Bitcoin and stay sad with a cool Tesla car, I guess. Just wait. If you can be patient, Bitcoin can 10x easily this cycle. There's no guarantee, not investment advice. But if you can be patient, you can probably get a Rari. When Lambo, fam. Jamie is toxic. He sure is. Welcome, Ryan. I appreciate your support, brother. Iowa ETFs are meant to be going concern, whereas CDOs are meant to have a finite lifespan. So CDOs, I'm not even familiar with CDOs, so I appreciate you sharing. Criminals use cash for illegal activity. So there is that. There you go. Bitcoin, it's on a public ledger, so you'd have to be stupid as a criminal to be using it. It'd make no logical sense. Criminals prefer cash. 100% on that. Billionaires don't announce they are going to throw billions at Bitcoin after it's done 200% in a year. Max is a joke. How dare you? In my Greta voice. I respect Max. Max has been telling us about Bitcoin since 2011. You know what I mean? And that's our feature story of the day. We're going to be discussing a incoming God candle. He is an insider. Someone questioned him in the thread on X. I'll show it to you later. They said, "How do you know all this, Max?" He responded, "I'm an award-winning journalist. It's my business to know this stuff. And trust me, he is the most insightful man that I know inside of Bitcoin. Him and Saylor, I respect tremendously. And you got to remember, Max got into Bitcoin a decade before the Giga Chad. So, you know what I mean? Bro, how rare you are to have one full Bitcoin. Congrats. Congrats to the whole coiners out there. That's what's up. Definitely at least 10x, says Dr. Ias. That's what's up. Can you briefly update me on the Saudis buying Bitcoin and giving the rise of the God candle? We're going to be discussing that here shortly. We still have some other stories to dive into with the ETFs first, but trust, we will get to it. One Bitcoin will be rare. We will be talking in sats soon. Amen. Jamie Dimon, how do you know Bitcoin is for crooks? Answer, I use it all the time. Bitcoin will last forever and make you wealthy. A Tesla needs constant recharging, will die after a few years and lose value. I would choose Bitcoin every time. Amen. What up, fam? Shout out to Off the Wall fam. Red Star, CDOs from The True Story, The Big Short. Oh, okay. Appreciate the insights, Red. Sun is shining like a Bitcoin here in Mississippi. Shout out Pharrell, Mr. Fox. Max and Stacy and RT was the best. 100% transformed my life. I got my financial education from the Keiser report. Learned so much. So I'm very grateful to Max and Stacy. I think they're fantastic. And that is the best, hands down, the best financial show to ever exist because Max speaks freely. You know what I mean? Everything else, it's like, you know what I mean? They're gatekeepers of the truth. So I have no respect for the mainstream media at all. What up, Carl White? I am a criminal and I don't take Bitcoin because I don't want to get caught. There you go. Cash only, please, he says. Hodl gang. Yeah, I'm hoping Bitcoin takes off. I need to upgrade my 25-year-old car, says Skins. Word up. 10x, send it, baby. Maybe Swanson Banquet fried chicken sandwich can switch from sardines to tapeworms. He's slanging mackerel at the prisons. You know what I mean? That's his form of currency, which is a fish. No more paper money or plastic cards. Bitcoin will get you everything. Right on. 100. Max also confirmed that the Bitcoin ETF is fiat in, fiat out. So it's a fugazi. Amen. It is a fugazi. And Max is the only one blowing the whistle on it. So again, respect Max. He understands the markets. He knows the shadiness of Wall Street and what they're plotting. He knows the collusion of all these crooks. He's been calling out Jamie Dimon for decades. Who else has? He even does skits about him, for Christ's sake. Jamie the tapeworm Dimon. You know what I mean? Long live Keiser. He's the man. Argentina's next king. Yeah, shout out to Javier Milei and all the people of Argentina. Hopefully they adopt Bitcoin as a legal tender here soon. But anyways, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day. Discuss the latest with Sam Bankman-Fried. They just dropped 6 of the charges against him. And again, you can't make this ish up. So here's the latest. The headline reads, U.S. prosecutors declare SBF will not see a second trial. Here's the report. United States prosecutors have reportedly said it is unlikely that the former CEO of the now defunct crypto exchange FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, will see a second trial. According to a Reuters report published yesterday, December 29th, many stakeholders hope to resolve the trial as quickly as possible. Referring to a court filing, prosecutors stated that the public interest weighs particularly heavy here, as victims are eagerly awaiting details about compensation for their FTX accounts following its collapse in November of 2022. They also recently revealed people are going to get credited with Bitcoin at the bottom of the market at 16,000 versus today's value, which is more shadiness. It's a disgrace, in my opinion. So what's shared here, for me, the second trial was less about how much worse things could get for SBF and more about potentially finding more enablers who deserve to be revealed. And clearly, they're protecting these enablers. What do you guys think? Furthermore, it stated there wouldn't be enough new evidence to present, as most of the evidence had already been revealed during the first trial. On November 3rd, Bankman-Fried was found guilty of all 7 fraud charges by a jury in his criminal trial after just 4 hours of deliberations. Bankman-Fried was found guilty of 2 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts of wire fraud conspiracy, 1 count of securities fraud, 1 count of commodities fraud conspiracy, and 1 count of money laundering conspiracy. Meanwhile, Bankman-Fried's request for 4 to 6 adjournments on his sentencing hearing was declined. Judge Lewis Kaplan did not allow any changes to the schedule. He pointed out that the defense did not object to the sentencing date when it was set. It was also outlined that Bankman-Fried had already received 1 extension for filing sentencing submissions. Now, Bankman-Fried's sentencing date is scheduled for March 28th, so a few months out, right before the halving in 2024. Now, what's most alarming to me, and I mean, it's all over X right now, remember when Maxine Waters, I love you, Sam, blowing kisses in the courtroom to Bankman-Fried? Why? Why would someone be blowing kisses to him? It means corruption. Yeah, I mean, I don't trust none of these mofos. And I'm not shocked. I mean, I'm angered, but I'm really not that shocked because I had a feeling he was going to get away with these crimes. And I have a feeling the one last charge is being charged with, he may get pardoned by Joe Biden because he donated over $100 million to the Democratic Party. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think he was the 2nd largest donor to President Joe Biden. And these corrupt mofos take care of one of another. You know what I mean? His parents were clearly connected with Gensler. You know what I mean? So there's all sorts of collusion and who knows the mess. You know what I mean? That would be revealed if they did another trial. So it seems they're protecting some higher ups. And what are your thoughts, though, family? Let me know. He paid them off. They were all going to get him a few weeks ago. That's messed up. Creditors should get the amount in shares, not dollar. Amen. Why are they giving them the dollar amounts back when Bitcoin is at the bottom versus the assets they actually held on the exchange? Why? Corruption. Yeah. DM 10x and I retire. Let's go. Bitcoin ETF approval, worst kept secret. Will probably go under 40 G's on the first approval day, says Half Greek. So you think it'll be a sell the news event? Thomas, all those predictions that took money from SBF, politicians, should be forced to return it. Yeah, they don't even want to reveal who the politicians were. You know what I mean? Because they're corrupt. That's what politicians do. Authorities are really good at taking your goods and heavily taxing them. And upon return, that's how they roll. Yeah, for real. She was blowing kisses because he dropped the moon bag in her closet, right? Probably, Maxine, I sent you $20 million worth of FTT tokens. I love you, Sam. Yeah, who knows? Those bastards need to give all that money back. It's like they accepted stolen funds. Precisely what they did. They were stolen funds in which they accepted. And they get away with it because those charges were dropped. I thought that was going to be one charge that wasn't going to get dropped. No, lo and behold, they dropped it. Yeah, they playing with our emotions out here in these streets. You can buy 1 million Bitcoin, but It will take a long time and cost a lot. Yeah, it was a damn jig. If it dips into the 30s again, it was a jig. I only trust Gensler. Oh no. Is our faith in Gensler? No. If she blew me a kiss, I would duck. Amen. Want no part of that. Send it back. Send it back. Send that mofo back. Corruption at its finest, right? Do you think the ETF is sell the news event? No, I think it's a big deal, but clearly it's not in the best interest of the general public. It's in the best interest of BlackRock, the way they're doing things, and Wall Street. So they're going to win in all this. But over the long haul, I think it's good for Bitcoin for this adoption because they say these trillions of dollars aren't ever going to enter the market unless there's an ETF approved. So with the ETF approval, one advantage clearly, it's going to bring us trillions of dollars into the market. That's the, the silver lining. Who's your daddy? ETF's turning me into a Bitcoin maxi. Right on. SBF hitting that ish. Oh man, imagine that. Imagine him having orgies with Caroline Ellison and Maxine jumping in there. Patrick, why is YouTube allowing these paid advertising on Saylor and Garlinghouse? It's mind-boggling. YouTube does nothing about it. I don't get it. Maybe they're trying to crack down and they can't. I don't really know. But I see them all the time, every day. Brad Garlinghouse, AI. Michael Saylor, AI. Send me your Bitcoin and I will double it for you. Just scan the code. And then people hit me up. Did you see the Saylor giveaway? They're going to double my Bitcoin. No, you just got scammed, brother. Sorry to tell that to you. You know what I mean? Do you think we're going to close the, is that the CME gap? The 20 grand gap? Oh, hell no. I think the lows are in clearly. God candle, send it, John. Bobby Digi, what'd it do? We can have one more money in the market. We can have more money if we replace the system that it is integrating with it. I reported those ads twice. Good to note. Everyone needs to report anytime you see those scam ads. Sometimes I see these streams, they'll have 10,000 people on. Like, you know what I mean? It's mind-boggling. OMG, YouTube running the ads themselves? No comment. I got to be very careful what I talk about here. That's why we also stream on Rumble as well. We can have more money in the market if we would replace the system. Yeah. OMG, the 39,000 gap. Oh, 39 is possible. Definitely. I don't see us ever dipping below 30,000 again. I don't know if 40 is going to hold. Clearly, if 40 doesn't, then the next logical gap, as you just mentioned, is 39. So it's possible. We're only $3,000 away, so it's a possibility. Went to run to buy Bitcoin on a massive dip. Justin McAuthor, word. Believe 2024 100K plus? I do. 100%, John. I think that's very probable. We only trust Max. Amen, Barry. But anyways, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day. We discussed the latest with SBF. Now let's discuss the latest with this $200 million seed round for the ETF of Bitwise. And how many of you saw the Bitwise ETF commercials with the most interesting man in the world? Let me know. The competition amongst the spot Bitcoin ETF issuers are heating up as the period for a potential approval of these funds draws nearer. Asset manager Bitwise is the issuer, currently making waves as it could potentially outrank the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, in terms of seed funds for their respective ETFs. Here we go. Bitwise's latest amendment to its S1 filing with the US SEC shows that the asset manager has gotten interest from an investor to have its ETF seeded with $200 million upon launch. That's what's up. That's almost $250 million, baby. Bloomberg analyst Balchunas highlighted its significance as he stated that it blows away BlackRock's initial seed fund of only $10 million. Now, the analysts note that Bitwise actually seeding its ETF with such an amount could be a huge help in the early days of the race. It is believed the SEC is likely to approve the pending ETF applications simultaneously, like a basket of them all at the same time. As such, Bitwise being able to create 200 million of shares could give the asset manager an advantage in terms of meeting demands by clients. That's right. They make a good point here. Bitwise had previously shown its intention to lead the way from the get-go following the release of its Bitcoin ETF commercial. How many of you saw the commercial? Let me know. This move could help the asset manager gain much interest in its Bitcoin ETF even before the launch. That way, the public sees it as the first choice upon launching. Now, clearly, in my opinion, they have the best commercial thus far, but I'm interested to see what type of commercial BlackRock is going to come out with. Shout out to Fresh. I appreciate that super family, and thanks for sending your first super ever on live stream. Much love, much respect. Notably, Bitwise didn't mention who the authorized participant is for the ETF. The AP would act as a middleman between the ETF investor and issuer, as they are responsible for creating and redeeming the ETF shares, while Bitwise failed to name its AP. Other issuers like BlackRock, however, included it in their latest S1 filing with the SEC, which is JPMorgan Chase and Jane Street. Now, Bitcoin ETF issuers show their hands in the latest wave of filings. Spot Bitcoin ETF issuers made some notable inclusions, which we're actually going to be discussing in our next story. But let's take a quick little break and check out some of the Q&A. And thanks again, Fresh, for that super. I'm going to get some more kombucha. What do you guys think about that? Seeding their fund Bitwise with 200 million. Now that's even a drop in the bucket for some of these asset managers because they are so wealthy. BlackRock alone owns in assets under management over $10 trillion, which is insane if you start to compute what kind of level of wealth that is. Just the top asset managers in the world, which currently have their apps in for these ETFs with the SEC, collectively $25 to $30 trillion. That's an extreme amount of wealth. Hypothetically, what if they were to put 1, 2, 3, 5% of their assets under management into Bitcoin? How lit would that be for the price action? You do the math. Now, they probably will be more conservative in the beginning. Kathy Wood says maybe 0.1%. 0.2%. But I say once they see these types of returns they're going to witness this bull cycle, I can easily see them upping it 1, 2, 3, 5%. Why wouldn't they? In fact, how many of you missed this? I covered it in the show numerous times over the course of the past few months. BlackRock released a study last year in 2022, and they said that their ideal portfolio allocation for Bitcoin is 84.9%. So let's just round up for the sake of even numbers. So they're recommending in their own research study they released, BlackRock, the asset manager itself, that your portfolio should have 85% Bitcoin in it. What if they were to follow their own word and put all of their assets into Bitcoin? And then, of course, being the leader of asset management firms in the world, many other asset managers would copy them, clearly. So it just goes to show you, you never know what's going to happen. We are sitting in uncharted territory right now. 2024 is not just a halving. We have ETF approval. And according to Michael Saylor, this is the biggest development on Wall Street for the past 30 freaking years. Let that sink in and let me know your thoughts. Give it time to disrupt. There you go. Disrupt, it will. And there will not be a snap of a finger. Go buy Apple or Google stock, may be better for your mind. I was told there would be no math. Chevy Chase, oh snap, SNL skit, throwback. Assuming the fund companies do that, it'd be a nice chunk moving into the market. Yeah, because again, we're in a nascent market. Bitcoin is only 800 billion. That's nothing. In the grand scheme of all the wealth in the world, it's nothing. You know what I mean? The total addressable market is clearly north of $700 trillion. We're just getting started. So count your blessings for even knowing about Bitcoin at a time like this. You know what I mean? Because not even half the millionaires on planet Earth will be able to say, I'm a whole coiner. Want to know why? Because there's not enough biddies to go around. Maybe there's enough ether to go around. Definitely not enough biddies. You know what I mean? And for those new to the channel, sometimes I use slang to describe my Bitcoin. I call them biddies. Credit Suisse has been fined $2.9 million for overcharging customers. Yikes. With what we have heard, the Bitcoin could be gone in a week, just like that. Supply shock, very real. I don't think they can put all their, I'm not saying that they're going to put all of it in there, but I'm just saying their own words and their own research report, which I covered here on the show, their allocation recommendation of Bitcoin in your portfolio, 85%. How many of you are at least 85% long in your portfolio in Bitcoin? Let me know. I would guess over 90% of you, but let me know. No one ever gets fined enough to make them stop. Precisely. Because if you're a multi-billion-dollar company and you get fined, a few $1 million, What's the big deal? It's kind of like CZ. They say his net worth went up in 2023, like 25 billion. And then he had to pay a $4 billion fine to the Department of Justice. What's that? Nothing. It's just a slap on the wrist. It's a takeover. You know what I mean? Bitcoin is like a small marble in a wheelbarrow full of marbles. Good metaphor there. The future is, no, please don't say that. I've never even heard of this. You're going to say it's the future. Yeah, come on now. Greater than 90%, that's what's up. Anyone else? Let me know. And shout out to the HODL gang, all the people with a badge next to their name, all the members of the channel. We greatly appreciate the support, family. There's not enough Bitcoin for the Saudis, let alone the hedge funds. Precisely. You start putting 2 and 2 together, and the supply shock is very real. 100% long. Love it, Skins. 100% is the right number. There you go. Here's what Saylor has to say.
Crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right? Right? There's no second best, okay?
There's no second best. 100% long in Bitcoin. Put a massive insurance payout into Bitcoin. Let's freaking go. I think you'd better, if you have some... no Inu coins. Please, no more Inu coins. About 70% says Jersey Bean right up. Curious, by a show of hands, does anyone not own any Bitcoin, but you're tuned into Crypto News Alerts on a daily basis? I'm just curious if there's any outliers out there. I'm sure there's got to be one or two. We have 600 people here in the live chat right now. Any of you own 0 Bitcoin, 0 Satoshis? Just curious. Let me know. I'm going to assume nobody here, but you never know. Do you own anything other than Bitcoin? I don't even own Bitcoin. I lost it all due to climate change. It happens. Climate change is a biatch. 300 billion inflow, 1% recommendation by the advisors. Right on, Norm. Kaspa is Bitcoin 2.0. Please don't say that. I hate because every altcoin compares themselves to Bitcoin. It's like Bitcoin, but better. So don't even make that comparison, please. Bill, 37.2% here. Right on, Bill. Thanks for being honest. Bradley, Max Keiser Candle, 5,000 income in. Send it, brother. Just buy some biddies. Right on. Me, bro. Radical mind. Okay, so there you go. Owns no Bitcoin. What's your reasoning for it? Are you just brand new to the market and doing some research, or you just don't believe in it? Let me know. I'm curious. I have 98% in Bitcoin, says Jaws. That's what's up. 42,280 says Random Exports. I have like 1% of a Bitcoin. Well, at least you got something. Where are they even going to get the actual Bitcoins? I heard there's only like 1 million. Exactly. That's a great question. Supply shock is going to be very real. There's no second best. Amen, Scott. Yeah, we all have brains. No layer 3 junk coins. Bitcoin is a time chain. Altcoins are not. Altcoins are gambling. None of them have really proven themselves. I mean, there's obviously a handful of the top ones, but overall, if you look at the grand scheme of like the 30,000 altcoins, most of them are just trash, very small market caps, and they can get rug pulled tomorrow. You never know. You know what I mean? So it is gambling. Have no idea, says Ryan. Thoughts on Cardano tokenomics? I honestly don't know nothing about their tokenomics, so I'm not going to pretend to know. DEX, 0.46 BTC. Congratulations. You almost had a half a Bitcoin. Well done. Have no idea. I'm betting JV had 120 Bitcoin before he lost them, of course, says Silas. Global warming. Climate change is real, according to Greta Thunberg. So, yeah. What happens when there is no Bitcoin? Wow. Well, the last one is not going to finish being mined by 2140, but you bet your bottom dollar. The giants out there, BlackRock, nation states, the Saudis, the oil money, nations, sovereign wealth funds, the micro-strategies. Just think about it. What if there were another 10 or a dozen micro-strategies? They already have roughly 200,000 Bitcoin, which is 1% of the Bitcoin supply. There's only so much to go around, family. Let it really sink in how much Bitcoin is actually available for everyone on this planet. And the mass adoption coming in this cycle. Yeah, I mean, let it sink in. Do those companies actually have a hold of Bitcoin for the ETF? Who verifies that? That's a great question. Apparently, they're supposed to. So hopefully they're audited and they keep it 100. I'm sure they will. I'm at 76% of the Bitcoin, but you never know because you know how derivative markets are manipulated. They say for every ounce of gold or silver, there's 50 ounces worth of derivatives on the market, which makes it allowed to manipulate the market, which is what Max says they're going to be doing with the Bitcoin ETF. That's why Max says they're going to be launching their own Bitcoin spot ETF in El Salvador with Bitcoin in, Bitcoin out, which is precisely what people really want. You know what I mean? So competition is a beautiful thing as well. But anyways, fam, we still got a lot to cover. A few more stories before we get into our feature story of the day. So let's discuss the latest with these Bitcoin ETF updates before diving into our feature story of the day with Max Keiser. And happy Kwanzaa, happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and happy Hanukkah, and all that good stuff as well. So here's the latest with the ETF updates, last minute amendments. The headline reads, BlackRock, VanEck, Valkyrie file for their last minute Bitcoin ETF amendments. This other headline, Invesco, Galaxy, Bitwise, and WisdomTree and Fidelity also joined the Bitcoin ETF revision rush. Let's go. Game theory in full effect. Asset managers BlackRock, Valkyrie, and VanEck submitted amendments, S1 forms to the US SEC yesterday, December 29th, the final day for the SEC to consider them in January 2024. The forms are revisions of their previous apps to create Bitcoin ETFs. Now, VanEck, they just dropped a Bitcoin ETF ad the other day. Let me know if you saw it. I think it's called Born to Bitcoin. It was pretty cool, but nonetheless, I still find the Bitwise ones to be superior, in my opinion. VanEck states in its revised app, financial firms that are authorized to purchase or redeem shares with the trust will deliver only cash to create shares and will receive only cash when redeeming shares. This is in keeping with the preference of the SEC. So this is what the SEC wants. BlackRock's updated filing named Jane Street and JPMorgan Securities as authorized participants. And again, Jane Street is where Sam Bankman-Fried and Caroline Ellison met and where they came from. And we all know JPMorgan and their CEO, Jamie the Tapeworm Dimon, who has done nothing but bash Bitcoin publicly in front of Congress, you name it, yet they're partnered with BlackRock. Again, you can't make this ish up. BlackRock has already specified that it will use a cash-only model. It was the first user to settle a trade on JPMorgan's tokenized collateral network service back on October 11th. BlackRock first filed for the spot Bitcoin ETF back in June, and Valkyrie filed a week later. BlackRock reps held a meeting at the SEC twice during December, and alternative asset manager Valkyrie was in at least one meeting there this month. And commenting on the BlackRock amendment, Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas says, looks like we have our first horse at the starting gate, possibly referring to the asset manager's chances of being granted the SEC approval. Quoting him from X, BlackRock just dropped its updated S1 and it does name the APs Jane Street and JPMorgan. Kind of ironic. Looks like we have our first horse that is at the starting gate. Now, earlier in the week, Balchunas said he expects the SEC to decide on the outstanding spot Bitcoin ETF filings by January 10th, 2024. If approved, trading would likely commence shortly thereafter, he said. And quick shout out to Fresh. I greatly appreciate your super. He says cash is trash, quoting the legendary billionaire investor Ray Dalio. Appreciate you, Fresh. Thanks for tuning into the stream, family. Valkyrie also appointed authorized apps in its updated S1, selecting Jane Street Capital and Cantor Fitzgerald. And in addition, StoneX Financial will serve as its lead market maker. Now, BlackRock, VanEck, Grayscale, Bitwise, WisdomTree, Invesco, Galaxy, Fidelity, ARK Invest, and Franklin, Hashtag, GlobalX, ETFs, and Pando Asset all have submitted their S1 application, spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, let's see if there's any new insights here, because this article was published shortly after the previous one. The hopefuls in the race for the spot coin ETF waited until the very last minute, and I think they did that strategically so that they don't get copied by the others, is my thinking. That's what also Kathy Wood shared. Now, Fidelity, WisdomTree, and Invesco announced their authorized apps in their new filings, which is also naming Jane Street. Now, WisdomTree has chosen to maintain its in-kind share creation redemption in spite of the SEC's urging them to switch to cash, which is actually interesting. So maybe WisdomTree won't get approved in the first basket of the ETFs in January. And in addition, Balchunas noted that the competitors had started a bit of a price war, with Invesco Galaxy waiving its fee for the first 6 months. Again, game theory in full effect. Now, the first $5 billion in assets, Fidelity set its fee to 0.39%. Very interesting, quoting Balchunas. Yes, told y'all the fee war would break out before the starting gun even went off, and it won't ever end. This is normal life in the ETF Terradome, though. The crypto exchange mind cannot comprehend this. There you go. Bitwise has yet to name the authorized participants, but it did note in its S1 that an unnamed party is interested in purchasing up to 200 million in shares for the ETF, which I just broke down for you. And you can see all these major asset managers refiling their S1 applications according to the SEC so that they can get their approval. The SEC set December 29th as the deadline for their spot Bitcoin ETF S1 amendments. Grayscale's last submission was a new S3 filing on December 27th after the resignation of Barry Silbert from the board of directors, which is very interesting and sus. What do you think about that? In the new filing, Grayscale stated it would convert its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust into a cash-only spot Bitcoin ETF, and as Van Eck did earlier the same day and BlackRock did an earlier revision, Silbert and the digital currency group, DCG, which he is the founder and CEO of, are under SEC investigation. So it seems like a takeover, in my humble opinion. So I'd love to know your thoughts on that, because I find that very, very interesting that they stepped down as CEO. The guy who has been in this waiting for this ETF for the past decade just steps down like a week before the potential approval. What are your thoughts on that? I also find it interesting that, what's his name? CZ stepped down. I feel like this is like a corporate takeover of insiders. What are your thoughts? Now, here's interesting. This just in a few hours ago. The SEC may notify spot Bitcoin ETF issuers as soon as Tuesday or Wednesday that they have been cleared to launch the following week. This is reported by Reuters. So clearly some Reuters insiders have some insights. We may get the approval in a few days. Now, I shared here that would be January 2nd or January 3rd. The ETF issuers may get the green light from the SEC to be cleared for launch. So there you have it, my crypto fam. Do you feel we're likely to get this ETF approval green light here within the next week potentially? Let me know your honest thoughts. Do you think it'll be January 8th, which would be the following Monday, or do you think it's this upcoming week after the weekend? Let me know. Just like the SEC prosecutor stepped down during the Madoff trial because he was marrying off the niece to the prosecutor. Wow, 100% fact, says Io. Oh, well, thank you for sharing your insights. At this point, Bitcoin is just another commodity for the central banks. I feel lied to, says David Arnold. Well, not if you're self-custodying it. Now, clearly, they don't want you to self-custody it. But if you got Bitcoin and self-custody, trust, that's the smartest thing you can be doing right now. You know what I mean? There is no other alternative. Do you go to church, JV? Church is in session. I preach the holy gospel of Satoshi each and every day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year, right here on YouTube and Rumble. So you already know. I was raised Catholic. I went, Catholic church growing up. Eventually morphed into a Christian church, and eventually found Buddhism. I studied Islam. I'm open to all things that make humans better versions of themselves. And I believe that the teachings of Jesus and Buddha and Muhammad are very similar. You know what I mean? And make you a better person. How many people aren't aware of what's coming in January? Kathy Wood. There you go. January 3rd, says Roman. Right on. Banks want those juicy unrealized gains that can't be taxed with kind accounting benefits. Word. Take the money and run, says Mike. You want me to post the story? You can't make this up. I believe you, family. No need. A night with Caroline is worth more than all the Bitcoin in Satoshi's wallet. Oh, please. Sam is a lucky man. Oh, my God. You guys are awesome. Gosh. Amen, bro, says Paul. Fiat Foxy interns are trouble. What do you think I meant? January. And we're about to dip into our feature story of the day and discuss this God candle, the latest of what's going on with all this oil money entering into Bitcoin, 100K God candle, send it. And also going to be sharing with you some predictions just made by Samson Mao for 2024. Never shared before. He just shared them. We're going to be covering all this here shortly. I'm just going to sip on some more kombucha, read some more comments out loud, and then we'll dive into our feature story of the day. No, I am not a Scientologist. That's one thing I am totally against. I know firsthand the evil it does because I was living in Clearwater, and Clearwater is where their headquarters are. So I just want to make that clear. Scientology is going to take you guys down the wrong path quick if you're into that. But anyways, to each to their own. I don't judge. Bitcoin is my favorite gospel. There you go. Me too. Bitcoin is God hacking humanity. I truly believe it. What car do you drive? I don't even care to share. Irrelevant. It's absolutely disgusting and blatant what those politicians' motives are, and when they are trying to outlaw self-custody Bitcoin, right on. I wish Tapeworm and Crypto Karen Warren would elope, just go away, right? Word. Respect. Yeah, respect, fam. I worked at the Boatyard Village. Oh, snap. What Boatyard Village are we referring to? Y'all know how I feel about Kathy Wood. Oh, Keith. Were you the one that made the bathwater comments? I don't remember who it was, but it was quite hilarious and disgusting at the same time. If that was you, I don't know. JV Conspiracy, Silas. Bitcoin is my religion. There you go. It truly is. And I think it's a great religion. Brings us all together, right? Does Nipsey have any baby mamas? No, he's looking for one, though. He's not neutered. So if you have a baby mama, let me know. And as long as you give me first pick of the litter, I'd love to have some babies or some pups. Clearwater. Oh, yeah. I feel you. Yep. Hey, you believe in aliens a little bit, though, right? Says Raven. Wonder why Barry Silbert quit. He was probably forced to. Whatever, Otherwise, he's going to get in some more trouble with the SEC, with the lawsuits. Who knows? They probably got him by the balls, if you know what I mean. Here's my credit card. What? I use Coinbase. I only send when they want to do something, but normally everything is on my Trezor, right on Disrupt. Unidentified federal object. Could BlackRock buy out MicroStrategy? Well, according to Max, he recently shared a poll, and he shared some very alarming tweets the other day. He said that these Saudis could be buying out all the major Bitcoin miners as well as MicroStrategy. So they have the big money, and that's what's about to pour in. Is Coinbase safe? It's safe to trade. Is it safe to store your crypto? Well, BlackRock's using them as a custodian. However, not your keys, not your coins. So if you're smarter than the average individual, then you would never keep your crypto on an exchange, regardless what the name of the exchange is. Put it in a cold storage wallet and thank JV later next bull run. What I kept figuring, BlackRock was going to buy our ARK Invest or something like that to get their Bitcoin. Can't they just buy all the ones off the United States government? Yeah, there's probably some corruption going on there because the U.S. government just sees or they have in their control 69,000 Bitcoin from Silk Road. They could be using that to seed these ETFs. We don't know. Going independent, Kennedy owns Bitcoin. Shout out Kennedy, RFK Jr., Kathy Wood, Satoshi Mom, good info. Out to dinner, but I'm here. All good, Emilio. Appreciate you regardless. Enjoy that dinner. We need Nipsey taken care of. Amen. He is the one and only mascot of the channel, so you already know. But anyways, fam, without further ado, let's now break into our breaking story of the day and discuss a lot going on here. Very bullish news. Max Keiser recently tweeted that 1 million Bitcoin buy order God candle is already a done deal. So let's break this baby down, shall we? Let me switch the screen so you can see what I am talking about. Give me 1 second, family. Here we go. Let me know if you can see the screen here. But first, let me read you some headlines. First headline, Saudi Arabian Salafist cleric writes a fatwa deeming Bitcoin acceptable under Islam. Why is this a big deal? Well, there's over 2 billion people on the planet who practice Islam. So first and foremost, that's why it's a big deal. This other headline reads, Bitcoin asset permissible for Islam, according to the 90-year-old Salafist clerk from Saudi Arabia, confirming it. So they just gave everyone the green light in Islam to purchase Bitcoin. That's a pretty big deal, wouldn't you think? Now, you can see a headline here, breaking news, big oil money to enter Bitcoin, the 90-year-old Saudi Arabian. Now, clearly, this is the current prince. This is not the 90-year-old they're referring to, just FYI, but I digress. Here's what Max shared, 100%. The Saudis will make Michael Saylor look like a peanut. A $500 billion buy order, which is a $500 billion, triggering a God candle is a done deal. There you have it, coming directly from the high priest. Enjoy that orange pill. You know what I mean? And shout out to CZ with his Middle Eastern garments on here. But anyways, Max also tweeted here, these two are teaming up to make Larry Fink, aka BlackRock, and Michael Saylor look like peanuts with a buy order of 1 million Bitcoin and a $100,000 God candle. Send it. Let's go. Now, he also wrote here, you don't change Bitcoin, Bitcoin changes you. That's a great quote. And someone asked him, how do you know this, Max? And he responded, I am an award-winning journalist. I make it my business to know stuff. There you have it. Now, also, we have the tweets regarding the God candle, which is a $100,000 uptick in Bitcoin in play, which I'll cover here shortly. And also breaking news, I think 2 weeks ago, the world's largest oil company, Saudi Aramco, partners with Japanese finance giant SBI Holdings to explore investing in digital assets. Why is this a big deal? Because this is the largest oil company in the world, partnering with the largest Japanese bank in the world. And you know what a digital asset is, right? Bitcoin is the #1 digital asset in the world. So they're basically saying they're getting ready to invest and make some major moves into Bitcoin. Max responded, translation, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Qatar about to drop $1 trillion into Bitcoin. God candle, send it. Max also recently tweeted, what poor people want is a no-cost way to protect whatever small amount of property they have, even if it's $1, from getting confiscated by rich people. Preach. Only Bitcoin provides a no-cost way to secure property for the first time in history. Poor people know that printing money with UBI only makes them poorer. Poor people want a chance to escape poverty. Their only real chance is Bitcoin. Very powerful words. Now, another recent headline, Qatar Sovereign Wealth Fund is considering investing $500 billion into Bitcoin. Now, clearly, that's a tremendous amount of money. The Bitcoin market cap right now is just north of $800 billion. Some other tweets I'm going to be breaking down Samson Mao's latest predictions for 2024. But first, I want to dive deeper into this story because it's pretty important. Bitcoin, as we all know, has taken the world by storm and has been subject to debate amongst Muslim scholars and jurists. Some have argued that Bitcoin is haram, which means forbidden, because it is not backed by a tangible asset. It is subject to speculation and volatility and can be used for illicit activity. Others have claimed that Bitcoin is permissible because it's a form of money that can facilitate trade, and it's based on a transparent and consensus-based system, and it can empower the poor and the oppressed. Now, one of the most influential voices in favor of Bitcoin is, I don't want to mess up that name, but let's just say it's this 90-year-old Saudi Arabian cleric who is a member of the Council of Senior Scholars, the highest religious authority in the kingdom. Let's go. That's right. Now, this guy, he made his legal opinion ruling back in 2018, deeming Bitcoin acceptable under Islam. In his fatwa, he addressed some of the common objections and misconceptions about Bitcoin and explained why he considers it to be a valid form of currency. First, he made the argument that Bitcoin is not a mere illusion or a virtual entity, but rather a real asset that has value and utility. He compared Bitcoin to gold and silver, which has also scarce and fungible commodities that are accepted as money by people. And he said the Bitcoin is similar to gold and silver in that it can be mined, exchanged, and stored. He also said that Bitcoin is different from fiat currencies, which are issued by governments and can be manipulated and devalued. He said that Bitcoin is more trustworthy, preach, and stable than fiat currencies because it is governed by mathematical rules and algorithms that ensure its limited supply to prevent inflation. Second, he argued that Bitcoin is not a form of gambling or speculation, but rather a form of investing and saving. He said that Bitcoin is not like conventional stocks or bonds, which are based on the performance of companies or governments. Thank God for that. He said that Bitcoin is based on the demand and supply of the market, which reflects the preferences and needs of the people. He said that Bitcoin is not subject to artificial manipulation or interference, but rather follows the natural laws of economics. He said that Bitcoin is not a zero-sum game where one party's gain is another party's loss, but rather a positive-sum game where everyone can benefit from its growth and development. Now, third, he argued that Bitcoin is not a tool for corruption or crime, but rather a tool for justice and freedom. Take that, Jamie the Tapeworm Diamond. He said that Bitcoin is not like conventional money, which can be traced and controlled by authorities. He said that Bitcoin is anonymous and decentralized, which protects the privacy and sovereignty of its users. Preach. He said that Bitcoin is not a means for money laundering or terrorism financing. Take that, Pocahontas, but rather a means for charity and zakat. He said that Bitcoin can help the poor and oppressed to escape from poverty and oppression by giving them access to a global and borderless financial system. He also stated he does not see any reason to prohibit or discourage Muslims from using Bitcoin as long as they do so with good intentions and follow the ethical principles of Islam. He said that he believes that Bitcoin is a blessing from Allah, who has created everything for the benefit of mankind. He said that he hopes that Muslims will embrace Bitcoin as a way to enhance their economic and social well-being and to contribute to the advancement of humanity. So that's a pretty big deal. This coming from the head that everyone listens to, who is Islamic. Now, let me know your thoughts. And do you think 2 billion Islamics may be embracing Bitcoin as a result? Let me know your thoughts. And I actually want to share with you in length this tweet Max shared. The God candle is a $100,000 uptick in Bitcoin, which is in play. It'll shift the global axis of wealth and power in a single tick. I have one word for you, $100,000 Bitcoin God candle fans, Qatar. The rumors are getting very loud on this. Their sovereign wealth fund is rumored to be looking to buy $500 billion worth of Bitcoin. And you can see Bukele meeting with the Emir of Qatar. And then he updated stated here to add clarity. My source said, Bitcoin makes our $500 billion sovereign wealth fund effectively worthless. We should just convert all of it into Bitcoin. Now, hypothetically speaking, if Max is right and they did convert their sovereign wealth fund into Bitcoin, how do you think that will likely take the Bitcoin price action? Do you think we'll have that Keiser candle incoming? Let me know your thoughts. Now, I actually want to share with you these predictions from Samson Mao. He just recently published late last night. Here's Samson's predictions for the new year, and salute, family. Number 1, Bitcoin all-time high. I think we all know that's a given. Number 2, $1 million Bitcoin price. Oh my God. If he is right, we're all in for a pleasant surprise here around the corner. He also says that 3 nation states will implement a Bitcoin strategy. I also agree with that. He's been working behind the scenes with many of the world leaders and presidents, including in Colombia. He just met with their president, sent them 100,000 Satoshis. He also doing work with the Senator Kempis over in Mexico. So there's a lot of speculation of which countries will likely adopt Bitcoin next as a legal tender. Let me know your thoughts. He also is going to engage 10 more countries for Bitcoin adoption. He also says Aqua Bitcoin drives LUSDT volume. He says liquid Bitcoin goes mainstream. Bitfinex securities take off, and Bitcoin bonds from 3 more jurisdictions, not just in El Salvador. Let me know your thoughts on his bullish predictions. Now, also, he shared this tweet, a preview of things to come. This is the 4 Omega Bitcoin candle. Check this out. This is what would happen if we got a $400,000 Bitcoin candle, sending the Bitcoin price to $428,000 per coin. Can you imagine it? Can you fathom it? Let me know your thoughts, family, because you never know what the future has in store with us for Bitcoin. And there you have it. Now let's dive into some live Q&A. Let me know your thoughts with what Max Keiser shared with all the money from the Middle East entering Bitcoin, the sovereign wealth funds, nation state adoption, all the countries that are likely to now adopt Bitcoin as legal tender in 2024, God candle, 1 million price predictions. Let's go. Metals are heavy and antiquated. Yeah, metals, you can't compare them to Bitcoin. I think everyone would agree they'd rather have the digital form of money, which is unconfiscatable. Remember that 1933 Gold Confiscation Act? I sure do. Just get a Bitcoin tattoo? I think that would be stupid. Because in the future, bro, you got to think about this. If Bitcoin was like, just hypothetically speaking, in the future, $10 million per coin, and then you have a big fat tattoo on your body, you may mark yourself for, bad people. And just keeping it real, you never know. 15 Bitcoin in a Roth and 60% as of today, right on MM. Don't blame inflation for fiat on Bitcoin's rise. That's like blaming the Razr phone, blaming smartphones for the existing. Remember those Razr phones? I think everyone had them. If Bitcoin hits 400,000, I'll suddenly be very handsome to the ladies. Precisely. Your age is irrelevant. Looks irrelevant. Bitcoin's never going below 40,000 ever again. You may be right, Debo. Gold is a great value holder. Other than a woman, there would be zero reason to want to be a celeb. Sold my metals last year for Bitcoin, and I doubled my money in 1 year buying metals, never buying metals again. Right on, Kenzo. If the U.S. government hodls those Bitcoins long enough, it could pay off the national debt. Ironically, Ross Ulbright could become a national hero. Interesting. They need to pardon him already and not Bankman-Fried. Why the hell is that candle red? I don't know. No clue. Like I said, it all went down and no internet. People will still trade gold because it is what they know. Might as well paint a target on your back. Precisely, Casey. My brain can't wrap around 1 million. Like, for example, when I go out, I don't even rock my Bitcoin hat. I'll rock something a little more incognito. Maybe a Bukele hat, because most people don't really know who the heck he is. But I'm not like trying to advertise, hey guys, I'm a Bitcoiner and I keep my my ledger in my ledger hat. Or like Snoop Dogg, the iced out ledger. No, thank you. In regards to Max, a done deal is not done until it's done. Well, he says done deal. He has inside information, clearly. A tattoo would be like shouting that you're a whole coiner, pretty much. JB, what's your target to sell Bitcoin in the upcoming bull run? That's what separates me from your average YouTuber. I don't have a sell target. I'm here for the long haul. I'll never sell, right? Never. It's going up forever, Laura. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not a gambler. I'm not looking to make some gains, time the top, time the bottom. That's way too stressful for JV. I got to focus on the podcast, for Christ's sake. So hopefully the pod continues to grow and I can stack more sats like the rest of you plebs. Stay under the radar. Well said, Boomer. Smart advice there. No need for a facelift when your bank account's 8 figures. There you go. JB, Bitcoin's market cap has to increase massively simply for the nation states and super wealthy entities to even be able to use it effectively. There seems to be a little talk of this, kind of baffling in my opinion. You make a good point, McLovin. Well, that's why we're having the conversation now, right? Gold has only moved 4% in 3.5 years. Yeah, it's like stuck at 2,000 for the past decade. Peter Schiff, I don't know what this guy is doing. Is he ever going to capitulate? Lots of people know Bukele. Well, of course, a lot of people know him. He's the president, but the average person here in PR, they have no clue. I'm saying I think everyone would recognize the symbol, but would people just recognize Bukele? Probably not. The average person, I'm saying, not you savvy mofos who tune into my podcast every day. It depends on the coming from the, which is the subset for Islam and the more liberal traditional Muslims. You want the Sunni leaders to declare that Bitcoin is halal or halal. Right on, Mohammed. Thank you for sharing your perspective because it's heavily manipulated by those who know gold is the inevitable truth. Yes. Gold and precious metals heavily manipulated. Why do people buy ETH? Best meme coin. It's going to be interesting to see who FOMO sells and who holds during the next 10 years. It will be interesting. Never look for trouble. There you go. Just be smart, family. Be smart. Yeah, I was reading in the past few years, there's been quite a few assassinations of, they make it always seem like the person just accidentally died. But you know what I'm talking about, if you can read between the lines. Why are so many big Bitcoin hodlers just ending up, you know what I mean? Things you got to ask yourself and just be smart. But yeah, that's a topic for a different channel, not for YouTube. There isn't interest changed in Bitcoin, so not sure why Islam would be against it. Says Disrupt T. Well, they're not against it, so that's a good sign. On the other hand, ICP is about to Allah candle. I'm so smart. I had all my seed words tattooed on my arm. Wow, you're so smart. I identify as having a Bitcoin tattoo. Altcoins will also rise tremendously. Well, a rising tide rises all ships, so you already know. Best way to get a FIS loan with Bitcoin collateral. A FIS loan, a first loan. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I know there's some decentralized protocols. Aave would be one example. You can borrow against your Bitcoin. That already exists. It's decentralized. There were some centralized entities that are no longer in existence, like Celsius and BlockFi. But I think once Bitcoin ETF approval, I think all the banks will eventually allow you to borrow against it because they're going to want to be holding on to the most pristine collateral, aka perfect money, to ever exist. Remember Novogratz's Lunatat? Oh no! Yeah, that was the top of the cycle. He was actually showing it off at the Bitcoin conference. Check out my Luna tattoo. Now the Luna founders are in prison. Go figure. I wonder how much in Luna that guy got paid to get a tattoo of it on your arm. For real, for real. When Lambo? I'm more of a Rari guy or Porsche. But yeah. I saw Tate's new video the other day. He bought his cousin a Lambo, and he bought his friend a Lambo. It's actually Tristan. That was pretty lit. Keep your eyes peeled for Ruja, a.k.a. the Crypto Queen. 100K reward for finding her. Interesting. Interesting. Earth Roads. Buy physical Bitcoin will be a thing. Don't buy ETFs. It's like metals can be manipulated. Exactly. Great channel. I sub. Thank you, sir. Monta, I appreciate the support, fam. Why Puerto Rico versus elsewhere? There's a lot of incentives for crypto folks to be here. Shout out Nipsey in the background, living his best life. Some of the advantages and why this is considered the crypto mecca of the United States. 0% capital gains tax if you get your Act 60 decree and you make Puerto Rico your primary residency, meaning you live here at least 6 months out of the year. So 0% capital gains tax is a pretty big deal. And as an entrepreneur, you could also take advantage of 0 federal income taxes if you get your decree for that as well. Instead, you just pay a 4% local corporate tax, and you don't got to pay the federal income taxes. And that's for United States residents. And you don't need to get a residence. You don't even need a passport to come here. All you need is an ID because Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. Just like, Hong Kong is kind of like a territory of China, but it's not considered in the mainland. Same with Puerto Rico. It's not the mainland, but it's kind of owned by, the U.S. Yeah, so you already know. Do you put your seed phrase in a deposit box? Never. You got to be insane to trust the bank with your seed phrase. Banks are notorious for opening up your deposit boxes and confiscating your wealth. They do it all the time. I've read so many articles from different countries, even in the United States, Italy, etc. So that would be insanity. Never do that. We're taking a cruise this summer to Puerto Rico. That's what's up. Yeah, typically the cruise ships will go to Old San Juan, where it's very colorful and lit. Not too far from me. It's maybe a 20-minute drive from where I'm at. But yeah, it's a good place to visit for sure. God Candle said it. How do you get a decree in Puerto Rico? Is it a difficult process? Not an easy process, but I wouldn't say it's a difficult process. You just got to fill out your application, and it could take up to 6 months. So it's not like instant or overnight. You can look into it. Just check out Puerto Rico Act 60 decree. You'll get a lot of info on it. If you need any assistance, feel free to reach out to me. Happy to help share any resources I have already on the island. Yeah, no safe deposit boxes, fam. You know what I mean? No, they don't have. It has happened. It doesn't happen all the time. Right on. Lamarck, thank you for subbing to the #1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. Hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. This is episode number 1507. I've been going strong for 5 years now. Let's go. Bitcoin because F the banks. Amen. But anyways, family, we still got over 620 people here, so I appreciate all the support. Please do smash the like, subscribe if you haven't already done so. It only helps tremendously, help get more eyeballs on the channel, which is only going to help usher in this mass Bitcoin adoption, which we're all looking forward to. What we're going to do is continue with the uncensored version of the show. For those of you new, I stream simultaneously at the same time on 2 platforms, YouTube and Rumble. YouTube stream is about to end. We're going to continue with the uncensored version of the show, exclusive on Rumble, so I can speak freely, as YouTube is known for being gatekeepers of the truth, and there are certain topics I can't even mention, because the bigger your influence goes, the less free speech you have on platforms like this. Just keeping it 100. So please head on over to Rumble right now. It's very similar to YouTube, just a newer version that respects your First Amendment right to free speech. We're going to have a JV React session. We're going to be reacting to some videos and being able to have some fun over there. So if you're not already following me on Rumble, go ahead and do so right now as this YouTube stream is about to end. I appreciate everyone's support. Tomorrow, we're going to be streaming a little earlier than usual. So I don't know the exact time, but it may be 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Eastern. It's not going to be 3 because I have something to do later on in the afternoon. But nonetheless, we will still have our show. I'm looking forward to it. And also, I'll be back this evening, 9 p.m. Eastern on the channel on YouTube tonight for the edited version of the show where we strip out all the Q&A and it's just pure content, fast pace. And I'll be live in the chat with you guys enjoying that. So I greatly appreciate that, family, and looking forward to seeing you back here on YouTube this evening. But now, please head on over to Rumble and let's get this after party started, shall we? Deuces, YouTube. I am out. Much love, fam.